I recently went to Dominican Republic and we served in Haiti, and we gave a woman her hearing back after 4 years of thinking that she'd been deaf. And she came in for a headache. She'd accepted being deaf, and we did the routine ears check, and with a simple flush we gave her hearing back. And that's with tiny, very limited resources. We're in a church, we're not even in a real clinic, and to have the opportunity to do that and experience those things, I mean, that's indescribable. If that's not the heart of ISL, I don't know what is.
The heart of ISL is something that is in all of us, in all of our volunteers. It's in the communities that we go and serve with. What it means to me is it goes beyond my personal motivations. It's a way for me to give back to the larger community, to the global community, to my local community.
Well, to me, the heart of ISL means helping people grow. We do our best to build capacity in developing communities, and I think we really do a good job of that. But we also really help our volunteers expand their horizons, expand their worldviews.
Being part of an ISL Heart is like going to a country, visiting the nice places, but also being immersed in a culture, in the people, in their lives, helping them. It's not just in the big things, but small things that you do changes lives.
And to then also get to experience a culture, you go and give someone their hearing back, and then you get to go and learn the merengue.
A heart, it pumps. It pumps all the blood to the system, and it kind of keeps it going, obviously. I feel like the heart of ISL, in the context of the humanity, it does the same thing. It keeps the humanity aspect of life going.
It's a sense that I feel like I'm in touch with those that I'm serving. It's the good that we're doing. It's bringing all the wonderful things that our volunteers bring to ISL and sending that forth to the local communities and the global communities that we serve.
It keeps good spirits, good senses, and good behavior going. It perpetuates volunteerism. It perpetuates neighbors helping neighbors and people helping people.
People come home changed and ready to volunteer in their own communities and make a difference where they live. And that is a really, really amazing process to be part of.
You see a different perspective of the things that surround you and everything when you do volunteer work.
It's not something you can grasp, it's something you have to live.
With that kind of love and attitude, I mean, the world can be a really good place.
I met the founder of ISL, Mr. Michael Birbaum, many years ago when he was doing missionary work in Costa Rica, in a very, very impoverished area of Costa Rica called Sarapiquí. He noticed, even though he doesn't have a medical background, he noticed that it was common to find people with lesions in the skin and upper respiratory problems, and he said, this is very strange. He just found that to be a common thing. So when he was visiting with them one day, one of the aircrafts that they use for fumigation to spray the banana plantations with pesticides went by, and he said, oh my goodness, this is what it is. All this horrible thing, the pesticides, are getting into people. So with his awesome heart, and that's where exactly the heart of ISL lies, he went to us, the administrator of the land, of the plantation, to give him the schedule for fumigation. And they got very angry. And so people of the plantation came and bulldozed all this ranch and all these huts under the pouring rain, and they were it was a mess. The children were crying, and so he was trying to save their belongings, help them to save their belongings, because they were bulldozing things. At that moment, there was a bus with Americans. These people stopped the bus, and from the comfort of being dry and being on a bus, they were taking pictures of that tragedy. And so Michael came and said, why don't you help me to get their belongings and perhaps set up a temporary shelter for the night? And the answer was, we will be late for our next tour. And he couldn't understand how detached people could be. It was like being in Universal Studios, or I don't know, and those things that you go on a nice ride and they show you how they make pictures, right? Movies. It was so out of them. And seeing the tragedy right there, it was more important to say, oh, it will be late for our next tour. And they were taking pictures. That touched Michael in such a way that the rest is history. He came back to Corpus Christi, where he used to live at that time, until he said, how could I bring young people who are such in a bubble, who are not aware that a whole entire another time world exists out there, to come and help people. So he didn't stop and went and knocked doors in some of the universities in Texas and convinced people. But he is so clever, and he said, what could I offer in return to them? If I asked them to come and help people, what could I offer in return? Great idea. A space to practice what they know, a space to learn, a chance and opportunity to get to know another culture. So then the rest is history. All fell into a beautiful program. Sometimes we humans feel so tiny regarding a big problem as poverty and lack of access to health services, and so we feel like, ooh, what can I do? I'm just one person. I cannot go against governments, I cannot go. However, the power of one is so amazing. It was just one person who changed one tragedy into this beautiful, wonderful organization from a remote area in Costa Rica. Now people benefits from the result of the power of one in Tanzania, Africa, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Peru, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Belize, Mexico. Those vulnerable communities in those countries are being benefited by the power of one. So we're just human beings, even though there are barriers of language, Swahili, Spanish, Creole. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're just human beings, and human beings need to take care of each other. So I think that the heart of ISL lies on that.